All right, y'all. RMJ movie reviews, on the fly movie review. I saw Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Y'all, I'm just gonna be real. I can't recommend it, y'all. I'm really, really, really sorry to say that. I really am. I heard some of the reviews, and I kind of wanted to keep my mind open because Cruise always comes through. And here's the thing: it's not that it's not an entertaining picture. It is. I'm not at all being disregarding any of the hard work of the crew or Mr. Tom Cruise or anybody who's done this movie. It's a well done thriller. It's just that it's the expository dialogue just it was just too much, man. It was too much. I mean, I do think, and I understand what they're going for. They're going kind of more for like a cybernetic mind thriller kind of all the president's men sort of thing, like people are listening and you don't know it, so it's kind of going for more of that kind of thing mixed with the AI and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, let's start with the good. Let's go with the good. The pros for me is it's got some fist pumping moments. That's what I call fist pumping moments. So Cruise is doing this thing with the stunts as usual. Obviously, the submarine sequence was incredibly tense. And the thing is, I already have high blood pressure as it is. So I did pretty good. I didn't get high blood pressure till I was 42 years old. So, or excuse me, 41. So I did very well for a long time. COVID jacked me up, y'all. But either way, yeah, I mean, my blood pressure was going all the way up, y'all. And to verify, I checked my heart rate, right, on my watch, right? And literally on that submarine sequence, my heart rate hit 115, which is insane. It shouldn't even be. I work in a hospital, y'all. It shouldn't be that high. But, or maybe it's just me. But it was a very good sequence. I don't want to give it away, but it was a very tense, good sequence. The airplanes at the end, the dog fighting sequence, awesome, great. And then what was the other one that I really liked? I do like, I'm sorry, that's the one, the aircraft carrier, which is kind of like Mission Impossible and Top Gun rolled into one. Maybe that was Cruise's little test for Top Gun 3. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe that's what they were going for. They were trying to be slick, but that was a cool, that wasn't an action sequence, but I just love that shot of him jumping off the back of the plane and diving straight into the water. That was crazy. That was crazy. But unfortunately for me as a viewer, the expository dialogue, I was just started zoning out, y'all. I'm honest, I really started, and y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I started looking at my phone, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And this movie is like almost 3 hours, y'all. I just spent $13 on a ticket. I don't think I can recommend it, y'all. I just can't. I'm not saying it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I was entertained in pieces, but I think as a whole, it just didn't work for me. And this is pretty typical for movie series. Once they start getting once they get past 3, you get a little shaky. In this case, they were able to rectify it because we all know that Mission Impossible 1. Let's go way back, y'all. I'm an old movie fan. I saw the original Mission. I've seen every Mission Impossible movie in the theater. I saw the first one when it came out summer as I ended 8th grade. I was 14 years old. Me and my best friend went to go see it. And, that had mixed reviews back then. People forget that. The original Mission, so this is kind of more akin to the original Mission Impossible because people forget that movie has one action sequence in the tunnel at the end where Cruise is flying through the air, which is fantastic. I love that action sequence. It looks really dated now because of CGI, but I still like it. But the original Mission Impossible was very, very, very slow. A lot of people don't remember that one. So this Mission Impossible is kind of more closer back to the slow pace of Brian De Palma's film. Unfortunately, I just kind of feel like it just felt all expository to me. I didn't feel like the story was. I just didn't feel like it was moving forward for me. You know, if there's gonna be a lot of expository dialogue, I want to make sure that I'm getting closer and closer to whatever the goal, whatever it is. And although the movie does those things, it just didn't feel like it as a viewer. It just felt like people just talking and talking and talking. And again, I'm not against it, but I just started checking out, man. And I'm telling you, I was very close to walking out. I was really close. And here's something else, a critical opinion just as a viewer. I don't like what they did with the music during the action sequences. I know sometimes there's different ways you can do action sequences. You can do action sequences where it's just the roar of the cars and the engine to drive the action, and you're driven by the emotion and the sound of the cars. That's cool too. And then there's other times where you have like a really good orchestral score and they got a loud, something like I don't know, like any orchestral action film from the Indiana Joneses or the Die Hards or whatever. You remember how those have very strong orchestral scores in those films. But I was not crazy about the music. There's like a little Jeep chase what I thought was pretty cool. I didn't like the score during that. And then the airplane sequence, I really didn't. I just I'm sorry, I was looking at a text message y'all from my best friend. The music during the dog plane sequence, I was just like, why did they choose this? Why? Like, I thought it should have been like an orchestral score, like I mean, anything. It's just the score, I didn't like it. Esai Morales, I go with that dude way back to Bad Boys. Those of you who are real old movie fans, I'm not even going to decipher that. We'll see below who's a real movie fan. Esai Morales, Bad Boys. I'm going to throw out a pop quiz to see who's some real film fans out here. Okay? That's all I'll say. That's a little test to see who the real movie fans out there are. Not the pretenders. But anyway, the movie, I just can't recommend it, y'all. I just can't. I really was bored, y'all. I'm sorry. And y'all, you guys know that I'm all about like entertainment pictures and things like that. But and you guys know I roll with Cruise. I mean, Cruise is, the last one, I liked it. But definitely I could see that COVID affected that whole movie because there's some inconsistencies, there's some things, and those same inconsistencies are kind of a little bit here. I think, probably because this was meant to be a part 2 and not a final reckoning, I could definitely see they patched up that part 2. And there's a lot of, you can just tell there's a lot of, they worked very hard. I'm not disregarding it. I'm just saying that I think ultimately for me as a viewer that it didn't kind of come together for me as a viewer. So again, no disrespect for any of the hard work that these hardcore professionals do. They did a lot to bring it to the screen. I'm not disregarding it. I just kind of feel like it didn't completely work for me. So I'm sorry, y'all. It's my honest review. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, y'all. Up to you if you want to see it.